What's up? What's up? I said, what's up? We're back.
We're back, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 6. Treading the waters, moving on in this football season. You know, football is it's a long game. It's not a short game. Yeah. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. And I experienced my downs last week. Going over the recap last week, my downs happened in college football. This has been the first time this season, and in a long time, I had a winless week in college football. 0-5 last week in college football. That was pretty tough.
Pretty terrible.
How'd you do last week in college football?
I did decent 4-2-2-1. No, 4-2-1.
4-2-1 in the push.
Tied, with the push.
Hey, it's a winning record.
It was
right
positive,
there.
and it was right in the direction that I wanted to go for the week.
Yes, sir. Getting yourself almost over 500, right?
Terrible. 14-15 overall, so this is the week I try to push that way above 500. I'm trying to go over that.
That's right.
Nothing too close.
With my 0-5 last week, that pushed my college football record to 9-12-1. And in the NFL, I did slightly better, 3-2. Should have been a 4-2, but the Bears, they win by 1 point, and I have 1.5. It's pretty disgusting.
Those hooks will get you.
Beware the hook. So 9-12-1 in college football, 8-7 in the NFL, and then my overall record 17-19-1. So with
17-19-1.
17-19-1. Got to get back over 500. So we're gonna start this week in college football. Bringing you here 9 a.m. time, early kickoff. Not a big noon game this week. Staying away from the Big Ten early, but we're going to go to the SEC. This is a really early game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Coming off that loss to Alabama. Very tough pill to swallow, but they got a cupcake on deck. They got the Kentucky Wildcats coming in here. And I was tempted to go. I was leaning the first half under in this game because, history tells you these two teams play each other pretty tight.
Yeah, they do.
But I just saw that Kentucky starting a freshman quarterback, and going to Athens as a freshman quarterback is a recipe for disaster, especially going against a pissed-off Georgia Bulldog team that just suffered their first loss of the season. So I'm going to attack the first half here. First half is kind of where I've been betting this year, first half, first quarters. I'm going to take Georgia in the first half here, minus 11.5. It's simply the fact that Kentucky is playing a freshman quarterback, and they've been giving up a lot of points in their first half. Georgia, this is your time to prove it. This is a get-right spot for them. I'll take Georgia in the first half, minus 11.5.
All right. Let's get into my first pick over here for the slate this week. I'm taking it to North Carolina. That's right. That Bill Belichick loss on the timesheet of Clemson, coming in as a 12.5 point favorite, shot up to 14 points as of right now. Terrible defense North Carolina has. Not a good team at all this year, actually. Hasn't played anybody good. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, and LSU have been the teams on the schedule for Clemson. I think that those are pretty decent teams from the eye test that I've seen all year, and more of a tough schedule than North Carolina. But North Carolina just overall is just a stinky team, and I don't think they can go ahead and keep up here with Clemson after a bye week. They're going to go here and get it done. So my official pick here, if you can buy a point. I'll get it a 1.5 and get it at 12.5 for my official pick, Clemson against North Carolina.
A late Big Ten kickoff game here, or not a late, this is a noon game here. And you got the Penn State Nittany Lions. They're coming off that disappointing game against the Oregon Ducks. A lot of people thought that was the game for them. They came in with everything in front of them, and all they had to do was get the revenge on Oregon, and just didn't happen for them, which is, it's football. You either put up or you shut up. They got shut up last week. This is the week for them to put up. It's a get-right game. You got the UCLA Bruins, who just have absolutely nothing going in their favor. And they get to come out West Coast. They get to come out of the West Coast, enjoy some good weather, get away from all the naysayers in Happy Valley and Penn State. Just get away from all that noise and just get ready to blow some steam against UCLA. I'm going to take Penn State in the first half. It's 2 touchdowns, minus 14. Look, if you can't do it against UCLA, you're not going to do it against anybody. This is the stat sheet game. This is a get-right game. Drew Aller, you need this game from the NFL. Just go out there and just put up the points early. 2 touchdowns in the first half is what we're doing. Give me Penn State first half, minus 14.
Okay, for my second game of the college slate, we're going to go ahead and take it to Louisville for a 12:30 p.m. game. That's right. it's another, what was it, Brian, you say it, put up or shut up game?
Put up or shut up.
Well, Virginia, you're going to have to put up or shut up because I've been backing you all season, actually, maybe 2-1 with you now this season for probably betting. But that Florida State win was big. Very big in my opinion.
Very big.
So if they're going to be come in here and be a 7-point or 7.5 point underdog to Louisville, which, again, with the whole strength of scheduling, is about the same. But with that big win, you're going to have to come in here, take this plus 7.5 spread, and put up or shut up, because that should be an easy cover to me. So,
vibes are high for the Virginia.
I mean,
Cavaliers.
without any further ado or any more information on that, you guys can look it up. But in my opinion, that's going to be a gimme game for me. Official pick: Virginia plus 7.5 at Louisville. All right. Let's go ahead and take it to my third pick of the slate this weekend. And I'm taking it to UCF, where I'm taking my Kansas Jayhawks -3. I see here that they do average a lot of points here. KU can put up some points. They can light up the scoreboard. UCF, they just haven't had too much of a strong schedule for me. They're the one that scares me against Jacksonville State, where they only put up 17 points. But other than that, they got beat by Kansas State last week, 20-34, against, and kind of question mark K-State team. But I knew they were due for that win right there. So I think they come in here, get a back-to-back loss against another Kansas team, but this time the Jayhawks. Rock chalk, baby.
Rock chalk.
Jalen Daniels, 16 touchdowns, 1,200 yards isn't something to look away from. That's just some good stats already through 6 weeks of football. Rushing and passing. So dual threat. I think they can go ahead and cover that -3. If it's at 4, go ahead and buy a point. But for my official bet, Kansas Jayhawks -3.
Well, the sun will be down in Texas for this one. This one's a 4 o'clock game. It's the 8 o'clock East Coast kickoff time. The Texas Tech Red Raiders. They're technically a road game for them, but this game is played in Texas. They're going to Houston, face the Houston Cougars, and Texas Tech, they're coming off a bye this week. Houston's coming off a shootout, actually, against Oregon State, one of the worst teams, in the country. And that's a bad showing. You got a Texas Tech team that's ranked on top of the Big 12. They got all that transfer, that NIL money coming through the waters over there. And you got a couple small numbers here. The full game for this line is under 10 or right at 10, probably about -11. Very fishy line. Houston's been playing pretty good. They are undefeated. But, this is where they faced their first loss, and I don't think it's going to be a close game at all. I expect Texas Tech to come in this game and dominate. Houston can move the ball a lot, but when they're moving the ball against Texas Tech, are they going to turn those possessions into touchdowns, or are they going to be field goals, or are they going to be turnover on downs on fourth down? And, hoping that happens early. I think Texas Tech's offense is, they know their identity. They know what they need to do. And this first half line is under a touchdown. And that's kind of where I'm looking forward to it at. Coming off a bye, maybe get a slow start, but come second quarter, if they're not giving up any points, if they aren't down, they should be in position to cover this spread. That's how you cover these first halves. You just got to keep the game even and then take advantage of your possessions. So give me Texas Tech in the first half, -6.5.
All right. I think this one's a no-brainer for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off you, wise guy Brian. Take it down to Houston and take the -6.5 first half as well. Same thing for me. Houston, I see right here. We just talked about it. Hasn't played anybody on their schedule. Oregon State is probably the biggest name college, but even that, they were down double digits. Yeah. Terrible. While Texas Tech has actually been pretty impressive this year, and they put up points. They can score. 3rd in the nation in scoring. 47 points per game. I think that's a lot to be talked about with Houston. They just last week they put up 24 against Oregon State. That's not a lot. So I don't think Texas Tech is going to be able to let Houston go in there and score points on them. So easy call for me. Going with you. Texas Tech -6.5 first half. Shoot it.
For my next game, this is a game that absolutely nobody is going to watch, but UNLV, this is their third time we've been betting them a lot this year. We've been actually on our radar a lot this year. UNLV, new coach, new system. They had a great year last year. This year, they're just traveling so much. They're just playing these weird games at weird times against weird teams. And we got another one here. They're on the road versus Wyoming. And, if anybody knows anything about the Great North in Wyoming, the weather is not going to be that great. So, honestly, I'm not going to have a side in this game. I'm not really going to focus on the whole game. I just want to see no points really being scored in this one early. Okay. From what I see from UNLV, they've kind of been struggling on the road about putting up points in the first half, and that's where we're aiming here. I don't know much about Wyoming, but I can't expect them to be any much better than what UNLV has faced this season. So I'm going in the first half. Give me under 24.5.
Okay, guys, we're running on time strain over here, so I'm going to give my quick pick right here. My last pick, Florida State +6 versus Miami. Everything I've seen from Florida State off the eye test, big Bama win, but that's really the only big win they've had on their schedule. Miami, they probably have had the better strength of schedule, but I don't know. To give them 6 points here, Castellanos at QB, they have some good receivers. Deuce Robinson, who actually came from USC, he's been a big pickup for them. So I think this is going to be a shootout, in my opinion. I think they go ahead and keep it close there. I think the books have it a little bit wrong on this side. So we'll take Florida State as an official pick, +6 versus Miami.
Last game on the slate. This is probably going to be one of the last games played on Saturday night. Late kickoff time on the West Coast here, 7:30 p.m. Going all the way to Cal Berkeley to look at the Cal Berkeley Golden Bears versus the Duke Blue Devils. And, I bet on Duke. I bet against Duke. I wanted to bet against them last week against Syracuse. Man, I'm glad I didn't take that bet because they beat the hell out of Syracuse. Ooh. And you know what? That brings all the good vibes in this week. Coming out west, yeah, this is a, late game. It's a travel game for them. But I think they're both for this. The Fighting Manny Diaz I like their quarterback. He's big. He's been playing good. He's a great pocket passer. The defense is just all on them. If they could just get any consistency like they did last week on their defense, this is an easy game. It's almost a pick-up, -2.5. It's a field goal game. I think Duke could cover this game, though, here. I mean, I'm not worried about the late start. They just have to play their game, run the football, and take care of the football, when they have the opportunities. And defense just, come out and do your thing. I don't think Cal, is anything really that great this year. They had a couple good games last year, but they don't have the same team that they had last year like they do this year. Give me the Duke Blue Devils. Laying it, -2.5.
Lay it. All right, let me open it up for the wise guys on the NFL slate this week. And again, one of those games that just shoots out right off the eye. And it's like, why don't I go with it, right? So I'm taking the Rams here. Thursday night football against the 49ers. Terrible, terrible spot for the 49ers here, especially because of how many injuries these guys have. You got Bosa out, Purdy out, Purcell might be out, and Puka and Adams are having a terrific year together. So Stafford's finding them. He's getting them the ball. They're scoring, and they're doing pretty well at home, as I can see. So line opened up at -1.5 Rams, shot up all the way to -8.5. But I'll buy a point and get maybe 1.5 wherever, depending where you get it. I'll get it at -7 in case they cover that touchdown. I'll take a push as well. So my official bet, LA Rams -7 versus the 49ers, Thursday night football.
I too will be attacking this Thursday night game. I do like the Rams as well. The vibes are just high with the LA Rams. I almost called them the St. Louis Rams, but the LA Rams. The vibes are high, and it's a home game here. And the Niners, they've had their numbers over the years. I think the record between Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, I think Kyle Shanahan has the winning record, at least in this matchup. But,
good statistic.
Times have changed. And yes, like you said, a lot of injuries going on in San Francisco right there. The vibes are just not high in San Francisco. They're probably the ugliest 3-1 football team that's out there right now. So I do like the Rams, but I'm going to attack this under here. It's a primetime game. Primetime unders is usually the way to go here. I just don't
They gotta run
expect
the
the
ball.
Niners to do anything offensively. They got to run the ball, like you said. You know,
clock.
it's all on that quarterback, Mac Jones, the backup. And, you know, this is a Robert Saleh game. If you want the Niners to have any chance in this game, that defense is going to have to play lock
Good point.
down.
Very good
And,
point.
you know, I just think the Rams are going to be able to do enough on offense to not let alone to cover your half, but to just get out of this game with a victory. I don't think there's going to be a lot of style points here. Can't imagine a lot of jump balls, especially with Ricky Pearsall being out. That's their Niners' only real deep threat. So I like the under, and I really like the Rams as well. But my bet's going to be the under, and I got to buy some points here. Give me under 47 Thursday Night Football.
All right. Oh, just don't keep doing it to me, Dallas. Don't do it to me. Obviously, you guys seen what they did to my Green Bay Packers last week. Watched the whole game, pulled some hairs out, threw some
A tie.
bottles at the wall, man. All that made me stay up past my bedtime just to watch a tie. I don't like that. But, hey, Dallas kind of looked like what I thought they would look like in the beginning of the year. Maybe not defense. Their defense is terrible. They need to fire their defense coordinator right now. But Dak, you know, he's a gamer. And I want to say I'm a Dak believer, but he just knows sometimes certain situations, pressure situations. He's been there, he's done that. So, you know, he keeps playing. He don't give up. And I like that in the player. So, you know, they come in here versus the Jets. I expect you to do the damn same thing, right? Same damn thing.
Same damn
to
thing.
the Jets.
To the Jets.
Can't go in there and do that to the Packers and not go ahead and do that to the Jets, all right? So, line moved up to -2.5, -1.5. I'll buy a point, whatever you want to get it at. But my official pick is going to be Dallas -1.5 versus the Jets.
I got an ugly one for you, too. It's a pick 'em. Two teams nobody wants to bet. But we saw the Miami Dolphins get their first victory last week against those Jets, those winless Jets, I would say. And, you know, this week they're going against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina, they had a win against their division rival against the Atlanta Falcons. They went on the road to New England. You picked them last week. You loved New England last week. And they got the doors blown off of them. So they come back home and they take the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, it's kind of hard to read this team. You got a devastating injury to their best player. Yes, Tyreek Hill is their best player. So he will be out for the remaining of the year. But they had, you know, a feel-good story with the tight end. Darren Waller came back to the NFL. And he scored not one, but two touchdowns. I don't know about their defense. Their defense isn't that good. But I don't think Carolina's offense is that good. And the Jets, they put up points. They scored on a 4th down, 40-yard QB scramble. And a couple drives where the running game was just gashing them. I don't think the Carolina Panthers have a good running game. And I know Bryce Young is not going to scramble for 40 yards for a touchdown. So I'm just going to keep riding the Dolphins. This is going to be my 3rd time picking them. They're getting these small lines. I like their roster better than a lot of rosters.
Yeah.
You know, it's not been a good year for the Miami Dolphins, but they can win this game. Give me the Dolphins on the road, -1.5.
All right. For the last pick of the slate, I'm going to go ahead and take an under here. 38. Minnesota Vikings, Cleveland Browns. Okay, we all know what the deal is here. Browns playing some decent defense, but they are stinky on offense, man. Taking Joe Flacco out. We got Dylan Gabriel coming in. Shadur, we might see Shadur. Let's ask the Browns fan over here.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right. Well, that tells me you're going to struggle on offense, buddy. All right. So, Minnesota, same thing. We got McCarthy out, Wentz in. See pretty much maybe a couple run games here. Hand it off here, hand it off there. Both teams eat up some clock. The line actually opened up at 41.5. It's down to 36.5. But I will buy a 1.5 again and get it to 38. That's just me. Minnesota allows 20 points per game, and I don't think they can let Cleveland do that. Maybe 10 at the most, and I think they can go ahead and get that under here. So official bet, Minnesota, Cleveland under 38.
10 a.m. game here. Indianapolis Colts, they're coming home. They're off of that disappointing. You know, some people could say that they were going to win that game against the Rams. And, you know, how do you pick yourself up off of a disappointing loss like that?
You win.
Well, you play the Las Vegas Raiders.
Or that. Yes, sir.
I mean, I like Geno Smith. I love Pete Carroll, man. I love And I picked against them last week, and I actually lost because I got the worst number. I had -1.5 with the Bears. And the Bears, not only should they have lost that game, but they blocked a field goal to only win the game by 1 point. Should have took a money line. But
Like
the Raiders, they had a good showing. They got a good game out of their running back finally. And we all know Max Crosby is a beast coming off that edge. Yeah. But the Colts, man, they just been playing on different levels here. They've been playing good teams, taking the good teams to the brink and winning good games. So I think the vibes are high in Indy. I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan, but their coach is an offensive guy. I think he's going to have a game plan enough to get the Colts to be able to score some more points this week. Hopefully they don't have any oops and dropping footballs before they go in the end zone and all that stuff.
Those are things that cost you.
Those things that cost you again, they definitely cost you a spread.
We don't need that.
But what I've been seeing out of Geno Smith, the offensive line cannot protect. And if you cannot protect, Geno Smith is going to keep firing that ball to the other defenders. So I think the Colts going to have a good game here. The spread is 6.5. It's under a touchdown, kind of fishy. But I think the Colts get the job done here. I'm going to buy a 0.5 point. Give me the Colts -6. And for my last pick in the NFL this week, we're going to stay in L.A. here, and we're going to go with the other L.A. team, the L.A. Chargers. Coming off that loss, a lot of people, if you're been watching football, a lot of people thought that was a trap spot for them going to the East Coast after sweeping their first 3 games against their division opponents. And, they were due for a letdown, and that's exactly what happened last week. Even though they had a chance to go and win that game, they just couldn't do enough on the offensive side to get it going. So I think they come home and they get recharged. Being at home in front of that Charger crowd, and the words of the Terminator, go Chargers, go. Give me the Chargers. They're playing the Washington Commanders. Don't really know who's going to play quarterback this week. Maybe Marcus Mariota, maybe injured Jaden Daniels. Just don't know. But they actually are one of the older teams in the NFL. They got a lot of young guys, but they got a lot of older guys. And the older guys are on that defensive side. So if the Chargers can run the ball here and keep, doing what they do, they'll be able to win this game. Give me the Chargers -2.5.
All right. Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoy this show that we're putting on for you guys. Remember, this is all for fun and love for the game of sports, football in this talk show. But we hope to get above 500, like we said, get these records get going in the positive way.
Positive direction, that's right.
For everybody out there, if you watch, thank you. Follow CAC Betting for our little updates. But other than that, we have a lot of good picks this week again. You've seen the positive notes. You see the positive sides of things. And I think, we got some credibility in what we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, best of luck if you guys tell. What about you, wise guy Brian?
Hey, only way is up this week. So 0-5 last week. Trying to go undefeated this week, so.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week for the show and tune in for the results. But everybody, tune in and get your wings right here for the games, right? Uncle's Wings. Make sure you guys go ahead and get those wings for the games because